Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica and today I wanted to build a cottage. And on this lot where the starter home in Hanfordton Bagley usually is, where we have this snail maze, where we have all of these beautiful views all the way around, where we have this waterfall right next to the lot. And in here I wanted to build a tiny little cottage, and I wanted to have it a nice yard so that you could maybe do some gardening in here so that maybe you can have some animals around here, like some llamas, some cows, some chickens, and maybe we would have a pond. But I don't think that the pond is so necessary for this lot because we have this fish sign right next to that, so pond will be literally not so functional around here. So I was thinking that I wanted to go for that like simple shape of a cottage, like typical English cottage as it's usually implemented in The Sims. I wanted to have like some kind of decently sized bump out in the back. I wanted to have a chimney on the side, of course, because I think that that is like a necessity for a cottage like that. And I think that I want to make this house one tile wider so that we'll have the one tile wider entryway as well. And I think that as I'm gonna make this house kind of small, I want to right away try to figure out the floor plan. And my thoughts were we might have a kitchen like in the nook up here. From the kitchen we can access the bathroom, or maybe I'm gonna have like our living room kind of snuck into the corner where we will be able to access the bathroom from the living room. I'm not sure yet, but I think that I want to make a floor plan kind of closed off because as it's like classical English cottage, closed off floor plan sounds kind of right for me. So I might try and do that in here. And all right, we are gonna have our chimney a little bit off-centered. And my idea is in here we'll have like a big entryway, kind of formal looking. In here we are gonna have a bathroom. This is going to be a living room, this is going to be a kitchen, this is going to be a dining room, so they are kind of across from each other. I can make it a little bit differently so that we'll have like a defined separated entryway like that. We'll have this as a hallway to all other rooms around the house, and I might actually make it all kind of open, but for now I don't want to make it open, I want to make it all closed off. And as for the bedroom, I'm kind of sure that we will have bed space only for one seam. The bed's gonna be like right in the corner. It's not gonna be so comfortably accessible around anywhere. And apparently we will have to have a door in the corner or from the living room. I don't want to have a door from the living room, but we might have that. All right, I think that for the colors mainly, I'm gonna go for neutral, so we will just have a brown house, boring and brown, that's it. I'm not sure if I want to make the chimney functional, but I'm sure that I want to make it kind of tall so that it's up above the whole house, like normally, like that. And about the shape of the roof, we are gonna have kind of rounded roof, and I'm not gonna place that roof decor we have from cottage living because I don't want to make this house like on a budget completely, but I want to try and make this house kind of cheap. I don't want to make it too expensive. I just think that's literally not necessary for the house like that. So apparently that's what our roof shape is gonna be. And I'm gonna raise this whole house on a foundation so that it all looks a little bit nicer. And about the packs, I do not want to limit myself with the packs right now, and I know that it's, I don't know, maybe third build in a row where I do not limit myself with the packs. I'm gonna redeem myself, but yes, I'm using kits right away just because I think that for a cottage house, castle kit actually is not that bad, especially if I build something like an English cottage. I just think that that's gonna look kind of cute for that. About the exterior, I'm gonna go for usual, that just some cottage living brick. I think I'm gonna go for this yellowish one. I usually not use this watch because I'm not a fan, but I might use it in here. And I think that we might need to have some columns on the corner because otherwise it's gonna look completely empty and very, very, very sad. And that must be it for the columns. And I should color the roof right away. I'm just gonna use, I think, maybe this mossy roof will do. I'm gonna lower these pieces of roof because otherwise I can see the columns from underneath that and I do not really like that. And about this stream, I'm gonna use the same mossy swatch of this stream. So for now it looks a little bit like a Shrek house, but maybe that is not a bad thing. I'm not telling anything because I'm not sure yet. And about the chimney, so I might just go and use the darkest swatch of the stone from the cottage living, the same I usually use. And about the fireplace, I think that we will not probably have a fireplace in this house, but we might still have a pretty fire area up here, so that's cuter looking than it was without that, and I will need to place it back now. No, I don't. Sometimes the game gets a little bit glitched and it just deleted these pieces, and this time it didn't, so that's a slight surprise. And actually, this placement of the chimney allows me to have some more fun windows around the house. And I wanted to use this set of windows from the cottage living just because I like them. And I think that this area is gonna be our maybe dining area. In here, we will have a kitchen, so I don't want to place too much windows out there. I think that we still need to place one in the front because otherwise the front is going to look extremely sad and empty. And more about that. I prefer using these windows usually in their default swatch, but I think the time I'd go for this lighter swatch with some darker brick underneath. And we are not gonna have windows on this part of the bedroom, but we might have some windows up here. So like this is window in the bedroom, this is window in our living room, and this window is not completely in the bedroom. I need to fix that. Like that. So it looks a little bit silly, it looks like ice, and I hate when my windows look like ice, but I'm gonna just accept that. I cannot do anything about that. I might even have here a couple of these smaller windows. They will not ruin the vibe, but they will make the house look a little bit not so sad. On this side, I think I'm just gonna go for some vines. We don't have them covering the whole wall, but we have them growing like literally everywhere, like that. And I think that for the vines, I might actually place maybe some of them up here so that at least it's a little bit more fun, like that. And I might stick here some more bushes kind of underlaying. And what I like about cottage living debug is that it has some things that are literally like that. It's literally a ready collection of the trees. So if I want to fill the lot, I can just place several of the same trees in one spot and that's gonna look good. Like if I want to have some of these trees, all right, I can place them in here. If I want to place several ones of these, all right, if I don't like that they are too big, all right, I can just size them down and they are gonna still look okay. And this way I can kind of like blur some edges of my lot so that it's not so visible where the lot ends, like because it's literally are the same tree that we have in the surrounding area of our house. And I kind of want to cover completely this back area of our lot so that it's not visible if it's our lot in here or if it's already the outside of our lot, but that's what I'm thinking at least. So I'm gonna cover these areas partly. I know that it's not very practical because it's not so easily editable later in the game, but at least for me, I personally, I just like the way it looks. And now I wanted to place here this slightly rustic swatch of the fence. I'm just gonna place it like that on one side so that it kind of goes underneath some of these trees, so that maybe even one of the trees is on the inside of the fence. And by this fence, I'm just gonna mark the area where I'm planning to have some of my activities, some of my outdoors activities. And when I raise the house, the fence stays in one place, so that's good. So for now, I'm not gonna raise the house because I still wanna go and cover some of the parts underneath the trees with these bushes. And as I'm placing a lot of bushes around, I do not wanna mess up my landscaping. I don't want it to jump to the same height I have my house. So that's why it's sometimes wise to turn off the trees. And what else I like about cottage living, it's these like ready sets of bushes and of trees. So if I want to stick some mushrooms, I can do that. If I want to stick some bigger patch of mushrooms, I can do that. If I want to have some ready patch of the grass, All right, we have that in the cottage living debug, so that's very useful, I think. We have some ready sets of bushes. We have singular bushes. We have these flowers. We have these beautiful flowers. We have some roses. We have some of these flowers. I don't know if, even what kind of flower that is. We have some line grass like that, so that we can line our pathways. We have some bigger flowers like in the surroundings. And what I like a little bit even more is that we have some things like this plant that do match the vine that I did place already on top of the house, and they are kind of triangle, so I can place them like literally underneath some stuff and they will look kind of logical. And my favorite thing is these flower patches. So you see we have the same flowers everywhere around the whole area in here. So if I place these kind of flowers, it's gonna tie the area in. And I like using these grasses from debug because in some packs we don't have any, but in some packs we have literally a lot. And cottage living is one of the better debugs, I believe. So I like using that a lot, so that they look a little bit weirdish, like some kind of I don't know, questionable area next to the house. But I'm gonna also stick in here some more of these plants so that we kind of, as I've said, blur the edge of our lot and that's not so defined anymore. And I like doing that, as I have said, I just like doing that. And I think that I'm gonna place a lot of these bigger bushes just so that I can kind of also bring in some tall plants around the area, as well as I can bring some of these plants with some flowers in them. I think here attached to the house we will mostly have like some chickens maybe in here, and I don't think that we will be able to fit a cow down here, unfortunately. I wanted to, but I don't think that we will be able to. Yeah, I think that the cow is gonna be fit like with literally some kind of a stretch already, but we still can do that, so that's not gonna be a problem. And about some chicken, they can go somewhere up here, a little bit closer to the forest. And I know that I kind of started with some of the exterior. I usually don't do that. I prefer finishing the interior completely and then going for the exterior. But this time I kind of want to go and make more from the exterior. And now that means that I can go back and continue making my wild landscaping because it's getting a little bit wild because I completely am not limiting myself with what I'm doing. And I'm being kind of free with placing some of these plants directly underneath my house because in here I just think that it doesn't matter like because anyway I'm gonna raise this house on the foundation, and unless this landscaping is gonna raise with the house, I'm completely fine with it. Up on this area I think we can have maybe some kind of big and open tree, somewhat like that, but not that huge. No, this is actually quite cute, so I might stick it in a couple of spaces. I thought about something like that, and I think up on these plants, yes, we can fit some of these string lights. And what I like about that is that I might fit here absolutely beautiful outdoors hangout area so that we will have some greenery around that so that it's gonna look cute and nice and cozy. But for now, what I'm doing is placing a lot of bushes. Apparently, I took the overgrown backyard up to the max. I like doing that in The Sims, and unfortunately, doing that with landscaping is my bad habit, I would say. So now we have literally all of these trees, all of these bushes in the back of our house, and I'm not sure that that looks good already because I think that I a little bit overdid that already. So, all right, I'm gonna continue anyway because who's gonna stop me? Nobody's gonna stop me. I'm not gonna stop myself with that. So who else is gonna stop me? Nobody. All right. And I think that that must be it with the main landscaping. I'm just gonna place maybe no more flowers. That's kind of enough already. Some more literally down here. Maybe some flowers in the corner. And I think that we can go with some patches of these mushrooms now. That's gonna be kind of cute, just like that. So that it's like a magical garden, maybe, sort of. A little bit some overgrown forest now, mostly. And I do not think that I want to place here all many rocks. Oh, actually, I can place some. I don't think that's gonna be that much of a problem, especially since we have some already in the landscaping around the house. I can even stick one right here in the middle of all of the bushes. And I kind of cover part of the landscaping with these rocks so that at least it looks more tied in. And of course, I'm not placing these like rock mountains because I don't want to have mountains on my lot. But several rocks, all maybe somewhere around the house, is not going to be a problem, I think. And now I think it's time for me to raise the house on the foundation. I'm gonna do the terrain paint last because I don't want to mess it up, and sometimes it can be messed up all by itself, and I don't want that to happen. I think I'm gonna use this stone underneath there, and I might use the railing from the cottage living steel so that that looks a little bit more tight in like that. And I might raise this. I need to check. Do we have a lot of plants? Yes, we do. So we might raise that a couple of more times so that we have like a taller house up here. Something like that with a little bit of greenery growing on top of the house. I don't think that that's a bad thing. And I'm gonna place a couple of more of these berry trees all the way around so that it's not like met around a lot once, at least 4 times, 4 or 5. And I don't know, but this area kind of always inspires me to make some overgrown houses. I'm gonna make it this dull looking swatch, and I think that yes, terrain paint as I said last, but we can place some lights on top of the house, and I wanna place a cute light somewhere like that. We can even have something like that, like literally on top of our entryway. That's gonna be actually quite cute. And I think that I might switch this all around a little bit and we will have some kind of a ventilation, I think it is. Not the poster, because I think that's gonna be a little bit too much. And let us go and figure out the whole inside. Oh, here's the door. I lost it for a moment and it was inside of the house. All right. About the doors, I think I'm gonna use all of the doors from the cottage living just because I kind of like them. Unfortunately, my windows not give all that much light just because I've covered them all with all other stuff in here, so it literally doesn't give any light. So I'm gonna stick here these cottage living lights for now, and I think that I'm gonna stick in here cottage living floorings because I like their wooden floorings. There it is. It's kind of rustic looking a little bit, but it's looking cute. So I'm gonna use it everywhere except for the kitchen and the bathroom. And in the kitchen and in the bathroom, I'm gonna go for something cuter. Maybe I might go for a country kitchen flooring in the kitchen. I think that I can go for a lot of country kitchen in the kitchen because I think that I want to make a bathroom a little bit like old looking. Maybe I can go for something like that. About the walls in our bathroom, I do not know what kind of wall I should use. I don't want to make it like it's a fresh tile. I kind of want to make it as if it's older looking. Something like that maybe from from Realm of Magic apparently. I've never used this tile, I think. And about the kitchen itself, I think that in the country kitchen we did get some kind of brick. I hope so. Yes, we did this one. So I might use this brick in our kitchen. About all other house, I was thinking about using this wallpaper from the cottage living because I love this wallpaper. So it's gonna be in our entryway, in our hallway, and in our dining area. I think I'm gonna use just a different swatch in our living area. And as for the bedroom, so I might even go for this kind of wallpaper in our bedroom, but this wallpaper will go well in our living room, so I might go and kind of custom do that. And about our living room, I think that we can. I think still think that we might be able to afford to have in here some sort of fireplace. I don't think that we really do need a TV in this living room. So I think that the fireplace might be a good choice. I just not like the fact that the fireplaces from the cottage living are huge. So I might stick here a fireplace from cats and dogs. It's a little bit smaller, but it has kind of the same vibes for me. As for our sitting area, I think that we will not be able to fit here a three-wide couch unless I make our bathroom accessible from the kitchen, and that's so unpreferable. But I think that I will have to. So I'm sorry. I tried not to, but it did not happen. And about our living room, I think about that couch that came with cottage living because it's actually a perfect example of normal cottage couch, I think. And about cottage living, a little bit more. I like that one plan from the cottage living, this one, and yes, I was looking for it for a while, so I started that sentence very, very long ago, but I finished that just now. But I love this plan, so I think it's gonna look perfect in the corner around here. And also on the side up here, I think that we can afford to have a lamp like that. And about curtains, I think for now no curtains, but I might change my mind. About this area, I think that we still can afford to have a living chair because I know that it's kind of a tight squeeze up here already, but I'm gonna still try that. So we can have a living chair down here, and maybe we can afford to have a bookshelf in this corner. I might use the Realm of Magic one, but I will need to scoot that a little bit into the wall. But that looks okay, maybe. So I think the time I'd leave it because I kind of like the way it looks out here. Except for the in this part now, I do not like that I do not really have anything going on in this room. Like you do not have any reason for you to come into this room, except if you want to read. So I might do something that a lot of people tend to not like very much. I might place a TV above our fireplace like that, so that at least you will be able to come over here to watch the TV. And I think that if I do that like this, then I will be able to scoot in here a tiny little side table where we will be able to play some tiny cute stuff. I'm gonna use the one from the cottage living just because I'm using mostly cottage living in this build unless I don't have anything from the cottage living to place. And we might place here this horse ranch stereo. So now the cottage living table looks a little bit weird because it has a drawer on the side. Alright, base game it is. Even better. Everybody loves base game. Except for ones who played it only for all of the years of existence of The Sims 4. I'm gonna use this stereo in the white swatch. I don't want to place all that much decor around here. I just think that I don't want to overclutter all of this area. And we might have a painting above our living area. Not this one, but I want to go for similar vibes. Something like that from the base game. Base game is always a good choice. And yeah, now this room is extreme fire hazard because we have a rock underneath our fireplace. So I'm sorry for that. But let us go to the all other rooms because I think now that our living room must be done. Unless I'm gonna switch the light in here to this one. It's not as bright, but it's a little bit more cohesive for the room like that. At least I think so. So let us go, I think, to our dining room. As for dining room, I don't have any that much preferences. I just think that I want to go for a cute little table with some cute little chairs. Even though they might match completely perfectly, I think that I might do it like that. So we'll have like literally red dining room in here. I'm gonna remove this light. I'm gonna place the same light we had already in our living room. And I wanted to stick in here around carpet, but I just wonder if we have something that's gonna look cute around here. I think that this will go well in beige. So we will not literally be able to place all that much stuff, like maybe a couple of plants in the corners, maybe just some painting on the wall, something that's gonna look kind of similar to the one we already have in our living room, so that at least it doesn't look too much too empty, because for now I don't think that we are gonna have all that much stuff. Maybe some mountains landscaping. We don't have mountains in Hanford on Bagley, so that's gonna be cute to have. Or maybe we can have some fancy painting like that. This house is starting to be extremely expensive and I did not expect that. But we can have a painting like that, I think. And it's gonna be kind of a darker room on the darker side. But now I think we might go to the kitchen. And as for the kitchen, as I've told you, I'm gonna go mostly for the country kitchen because I think that's a good pack, that's a decent one, and we might benefit a lot from using that in here. So I might go for completely green kitchen in here, and that's gonna be cute, I hope. And this kitchen, yes, it is a tight squeeze, but anyway, that's gonna be a cute kitchen. And now I'm extremely happy that I did not place any kind of windows up here. And I probably would have liked to use the shelf from the country kitchen up here, but I will not be able to do that because it's a little bit too big for this wall, and if I size it down, it's gonna be bad, so I'm not doing that. But I just want to place here some clutter, like this bucket with some oranges, maybe some flour, maybe we're gonna place here this ready meal, maybe in here, as if it's ready to be served into our dining area. And some of these storage things, like I don't know, maybe we keep something in here. Of course we do, it's a kitchen, we need to keep some stuff in here because we need to cook in here. I'm gonna make it yellow. I think that this kitchen is mostly like green and yellow. I just like yellow color, it's beautiful color. And up here I think that I'm gonna turn off the country kitchen now, but I think that we need a tiny trash can somewhere up here in the corner. I'm gonna use this square one just because it doesn't take all that much space. And I forgot about the sink. That's easily fixable. So about the sink, I'm just gonna use this Bayesian one because it kind of gives me country vibes, and your Sims will be able to use this counter to cook. So I'm not overcluttering the kitchen, and now I need some wall decor. We might stick here something like that. That's from a gift pack, so that's for free. I think that I might use this poster in the kitchen. That's kind of like funny looking, and I know that that's kind of a announcing the festival, but I might still want to use that in here. And I'm gonna go for the base game quickly because I wanted to place this stuff up here above our trash can. And I'm just gonna make them plain beige. So the kitchen is gonna look kind of boring, but that's a tiny kitchen that's completely functional. Your Sims will use that with ease. And now let us go to the bathroom. As for the bathroom, I'm sure now that I'm gonna use here bathtub. I like this bathtub from cottage living. I'm gonna use that with the green bottom, I think, or I might go for yellow because this bathroom, I think I can go for beige. I don't want to go for yellow. And as for here, I would like to use this sink, but I do not want to do that actually. I told you that I would like to do that, but I do not want to do that, and that's because I'm gonna use the country kitchen sink. I did not use that in the kitchen because I know that it would fit in here, but this board would cover the window partly, and that's not exactly what I wanted to have. And this toilet, that's gonna be quite simple. And now I'm just gonna go for some usual necessities, like we are gonna have a toilet paper. Somebody's gonna tell me that it's hung up too high, but I don't care. I'm gonna bring it lower just for myself. And we might have this towel up here, maybe in the brown. I don't usually use the brown swatch of that. And we might have some of these towels up here so that it's not bothering anybody. And just a usual mirror with a drawer on the inside. So that's a little bit more practical for your typical Sims. And as it might be like a typical bathroom where typical people would live, we might have a broom in here. And also I want to place a couple of ropes in the beige, just boring beige. And I think in here I can place some toiletries in this yellow tray. So that's like literally the bathroom done. So we now have our kitchen, toilet, dining room, and we have our living room done, but we still have to do our entryway and our bedroom. As for the bedroom, that's gonna be quite simple because cottage living has one of the best beds in the game as my thinking goes. And I might bring that here in this pink swatch. I love this pink swatch. That is beautiful. That's my opinion, and I think that that is beautiful. And I think that a lot of you will agree with me about that. I might bring in here this pink drawer. And now I was thinking also that I might bring in here a desk. And as for this desk, I might make something a little bit maybe controversial, but I don't want to place a computer on top of this desk. I just want to place here a desk. I think this one from the base game will do well down here. Maybe we can have this from Discover University. That's a little bit more comfortable, at least I imagine so, because it has a cushion. And I would like to place here some kind of skinny drawer, but I don't think that we have something like that. So I might just stick in here some kind of bookshelf maybe. Or we can just have here maybe some more art because we are wasting our money on art in this house apparently. Maybe even something like that. That's an expensive art for the Sims. And maybe I'm gonna have more plants around here. So I'm gonna stick this one because I stick it literally everywhere because it's small, like literally quarter by quarter tile. And by the way, about the desk, I don't want to place a computer because I'm imagining that is a cozy cottage. Cozy cottage would not have a computer in there because we are not playing computer games in the cottage. We are busy with taking care of the cottage, and we are gonna have a TV in here only because we need to fix our fun after taking care of all of this cottage. And I'm gonna stick here a lamp, this one in the beige, and that's just all we need to have up here. And of course, this base game rug because we just need to have a rug when you go off your bed. And I think that we might actually do a silly thing, and I know that a lot of people hate that, but I want to stick a mirror on the wall where you can see yourself from your bed. So I'm sorry for that, but I just usually do that, and nobody was ever hurt for that. So I don't know why people are complaining about that, but I heard a lot of people telling like, no, that is so unacceptable, but why? Nobody explained to me why. And I might use even some of these ugly curtains, and I call them ugly because it's not my style. That's the only reason why. But I might use some of them around here, and I might use even some of them somewhere above this archway, so that at least we have this room kind of filled, so it's not so empty and sad. And by the way, about this hallway, I might stick in here some flowers and plants so that at least it doesn't look as empty, because for now it does. And I like this plant from Dine Out, and I really want to buy myself one like that or get it from somewhere, but I cannot just find time to do that and money. So I need to I will need to think about that a little bit later, maybe. Now all we have to do is figure out the hallway and all of the exterior. So let me quickly figure out the hallway. I don't think that that's gonna take me so much time, and I just kind of have an idea already what I want to do for that. And that was kind of a simple of idea because we have some surfaces in the cottage living, so I was thinking about having this kind of table in our entryway. We might have a tall, like, or like kind of on the bigger side mirror on top of that. I think that that's kind of okay. And about the plants, I wanted to stick in here a tiny plant. I think that cottage living has one. I'm just looking for it now. Or I might stick this base game one because it kind of has the same vibe, so we might have that in here. And also some tiny clutter. I'm gonna place here this tiny basket because I'm kind of imagining that this is a storage for maybe keys and stuff like that. And up here I might stick this rack. And I think that on this side I wanted to place an ottoman. And as for the ottoman, I'm gonna go for base game because I don't think that I want to bring any more packs into this build because I think that I've used plenty already and that's not really good. And some more clutter because I think that as for more clutter, shoes always go well. And if you have snowy escape, you can set some shoes rules for your sims. And I know that they are kind of tucked in and they are not so like useful. They are not so easy to get out there, but who cares? I think that that's okay. And I might stick here this kind of painting up here, or maybe we can have this painting up here. I know that this house now uses a lot of art and it might make this house a ridiculously expensive one, and I think that it will, and I think that it did already, so I'm sorry for that. But that's what we will have. So that's our tiny little entryway. And the only thing I forgot about is a tiny rock we need to have inside of the house so that you can clean your shoes after you enter the house. I think this one is going to be better. At least it's going to match the cottage living vibes a little bit better. So that must be the inside done now. And what else I wanted to do is I just wanted to go out here and literally stick in here some kind of lounge area so that your sims might sit in here, they might hang out in here. And for that, I thought about using this table. I know that it's kind of supposed to be like a table for maybe a pub, but no, in here we are gonna have that. We are not gonna have that. In here we are gonna have some different table for our outdoors dining. And I think apparently this one, it kind of has to have an umbrella inside that so that it looks okay, but we are not gonna have this kind of luxury. We are just gonna have this table and some chairs around that. I think that these get together chairs will do a long way together. And we are gonna have our table like almost directly underneath the tree. And what else I wanted to do is I wanted to place a tray with drinks up here, and I wanted to use these stones as our tiny pathway towards our patio area. And these stones are actually done not so bad. I know that a lot of people complain that why do we have this like set of stones, but I kind of like that you can rotate them and you can place them differently towards each other so that it's not so visible that it is literally the same set of stones. But I think that maybe there are people who are always complaining that do not like anything at all, that want to have more. And I understand them because, we pay money for these games, so we deserve to have our wants, but sometimes we need to make them a little bit quieter so that people are not feeling so obligated, the game creators, so that they do not feel so obligated to feed all of our wants. So it's a little bit too wide in some of the areas, so I might redo that slightly. And now we will need to add some terrain paint, and that must be it. So this actually must be the build now. So I know that the house itself is kind of not that cute because I did not try to make it like very cute. I think that if I do it like that, it's gonna be a little bit better, but I'm still not sure about that. But about everything else, I kind of love this by the tree area. In here, I decided to sneak a trash can behind some of the bushes. Also, we have a telescope, so your Sims might die in here. We have these stepping stones going all the way around here to this table and to this area. In here I did place some planters, so you might do some gardening, except for these two areas. You can have some cows or llamas, you can have some chickens, and this is it for the exterior. So I think let us go inside now. As for the inside, in here we have like this entryway, tiny one, where you can put in your shoes, look at yourself, maybe take something from the drawer in here. In here we have this tiny hallway that leads to the kitchen, to the dining room, and also to this living room. So living room is kind of tight, but we have some things to do in here, so you can literally fix your phone in here because we have a TV, a bookshelf, and also in here we have the stereo. From the kitchen we can access the bathroom. In the bathroom we have anything you might need, literally anything to function, and that's actually quite a practical floor plan because all of the plumbing is literally on one side and on the same side where we have water. So that is kind of realistic if you consider real life sometimes in your Sims gameplay. But I know that it's not really cute to have access to the bathroom from the kitchen, but I didn't here, and I'm not taking any complaints about that. As for our living room, it's kind of simple. We just have one plant and it's just 3 by 3 space, so we could not place here all that much stuff, but at least we have a plant in here. As for this area, we have here a desk, a bed, and also in here tiny nightstand, and that must be pretty much it. But of course, the main part of this house is all of this exterior. Also, I want to place in here a lot of flies, not like flies, but the effects, these ones, but if I place them, it's fireflies, so they will fly around everywhere. You will not be able to see this square, but there will be fireflies, and that's gonna be really cute if you want to download this house. I'm gonna upload it on my gallery. My gallery name is Globeron, just like my YouTube name, so you will be able to find it by my hashtag Globeron that I use on all of my builds. So I think that you will like this build down there. So thank you for watching, I think, and if you like videos like that, subscribe to my channel, and I think that this must be a goodbye.